'Tis the season to be spooky. Though Halloween has passed, there are still plenty of creatures that go bump in the night. And while these creatures are a bit more festive, some are also terrifying. So put on your favorite ugly Christmas sweater and light that pine-scented candle while I tell you just a few of the creepy creatures that will make a stocking full of coal seem like the least of your worries.
Hi, I'm Natasha,
And I'm Cassandra.
and this is Strange Sisters. I'm really tired today. I don't have much to say. There's a place called Christmas Tree Lane in Pasadena, and I went with some friends last night to walk through it because I saw on their website like, oh, people walk through it. I had driven through it, and I saw people walking, so I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And I went with two friends that both have children, and we
Oh,
found out
yep.
that there was no sidewalks on these roads, so we were
Oh
just like
no.
walking in the road and yeah, and then of course it was downhill on the way down, so then we had to come uphill on the way back. So I couldn't fall
Nope.
asleep last night. I was just really tired. So yeah, I don't really have much to add, but I'm excited to hear about these Christmas. Are they cryptids or are they more like legends?
I called them entities. I guess they're more
Okay.
like legends.
Okay. Cool.
So on that note, is everyone having a fun holiday season? Because, yep, me neither. As we get older, the holidays seem to lose some of their magic more and more every year. And considering I've been more or less on bed rest since before Halloween, I am determined to bring some of that magic back. But remember, magic isn't always a good thing. So, as certified millennials, Natasha and I are, of course, obsessed with The Office, which that's just a millennial thing.
Yes, I didn't realize we were certified millennials. What certifies us?
uh, we were there for 9/11,
That's a millennial experience. That's true.
then the recession. We survived the emo phase and the scene phase.
Yeah, I would say you were probably more emo and I was more of like a scene kid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I actually found a box of all of my old like band sweatshirts and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was able to give some of my hand-me-downs to medium-sized one, and I'm just like, why do I still have these things?
Yeah, there's some stuff that I do wish I still had, like my white studded leather belt. There's a few things I wish I still
I
had. Not,
forgot about that.
I don't know if you happen to have that. You seem to have stolen a lot of stuff from me, but
That one I don't have, but if you're looking for your BAM hoodie, I got you.
no, you can keep that.
Anyway, us certified millennials. And I am, of course, a sucker for a good holiday special. So imagine my surprise when I learned that Dwight's notorious character, the Belsnickel, actually exists in folklore.
Nice. Yeah, they did a lot of research on that show, so that doesn't surprise me.
Similar to you and I, the Belsnickel is of German descent and considered a stricter version of Santa Claus. Often depicted dressed in fur and carrying a small whip, Belsnickel is known for knocking on the windows and doors of homes, making himself known to the children who inhabit the house.
Okay. The whip is kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that again. Germans kind of really be out here because this is not the only Christmas creature that carries a whip. But there are many differences between the Belsnickel, this cranky creature, and our Jolly Saint Nick. One of the most notable ones is that Belsnickel doesn't shy away from the children seeing him. And while he does give gifts to the good children, the badly behaved children get smacked by the switch. So, more plainly, child abuse, but make it Christmas. Even those who are lucky enough to make it on the Belsnickel's nice list could still fall victim to the switch. If a child is too hasty or greedy when claiming their treats, they could meet the wrong end of the switch. However, it seems as though in that case, they mostly just get a smack on the wrist.
Jeez. I mean, that's pretty intense for a child. Like, don't be too greedy with your candy.
Yeah, they could never do pinatas.
Yeah. That would be a nightmare.
As time continued on and Germans immigrated to America, they didn't just bring along the tradition of the Christmas pickle on the tree. And I had to type this word so many times and I cackled every time. Belsnickeling. Just hold on to that for a second. um, Belsnickeling became a tradition of its own, where between the week before Christmas up until New Year's, groups would dress in various costumes of rags, very creepy masks, and I will actually send you a picture that you can insert here. I hated it. Awful. Some people would even stuff their costumes to like further hide their identity. Yeah. And these groups would go door to door, and their neighbors would have to attempt to guess who was hiding behind the mask. If the neighbor was successful, the Belsnickel in question would have to remove their mask and accept defeat. But if the neighbor was incorrect, the entire group was to be invited into the home and offered refreshments, which could be anything from candy to cocktails.
I feel like there's gotta be, like, a horror movie about this where the killer dresses up as Belsnickel and
If there's not,
goes
we'll make
around.
one.
There probably is one in German. Well, no, because this is more of a German American tradition. Is that right?
Belsnickeling, I think, is.
Yeah,
It-
okay.
That's something that's like so American. Like, let me in your house and give me a cocktail.
Yeah, it's kinda like trick or treating almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up. I wonder if there is a movie related to this because it seems like it's just like a serial killer waiting to happen kind of thing.
also, the Belsnickeling seems very American.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an
And
interesting tradition. And I've never heard of it, and maybe it was more of like a early 1900s thing.
yeah, it was definitely like early mid 1900s. So, like, I can see in the 1950s this being very popular.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Um, but the Americanized version of Belsnickel became more of a playful character rather than like a strict judge of character. With his original personality, he was far more pious, and he would test children for their niceness by having them recite Bible verses. And while we generally connect Germany to Krampus, the Belsnickel hails from Western Germany. And to quote Jim Halbert, the Belsnickel is kind of like Santa, but dirty and worse. Now, I mentioned Krampus earlier, arguably the most famous counterpart to Santa or Saint Nick. This half man, half goat originates from the area around Germany and Austria. To quote to quote an article from the Smithsonian, the Krampus is the yin to Saint Nick's yang. You have the saint, you have the devil. It taps into the subconscious macabre desire that a lot of people have that is the opposite of the saccharine Christmas a lot of us grew up with.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense and definitely attracts for it being like a German Austrian thing. Where yeah, it's more like casting judgment versus Santa being like, "Oh, it's okay, just try harder next year." Like
So in early December, generally around the 5th, Krampus follows Saint Nick as basically his evil twin. While he is now connotated with Christmas, his origin story dates back to pre-Germanic paganism. So where Belsnickel is very like biblical, Krampus is a little more dark. He's believed to be the son of the Norse god of the underworld, Hel. Yeah, his name's Hel.
oh,
So yeah, I
okay.
thought it was weird too. Krampus's main duty is to punish the children who end up on his naughty list. But rather than children being afraid of getting coal in their stocking, they're afraid to be put in his sack and dragged to actual hell, or eaten, or be beaten by his birch branch. So the Germans have a thing with like child abuse.
Just discipline in general, I think.
On that note, our German side is wonderful. Somewhere Oma's like, I feel attacked.
I don't think Oma listens to our podcast.
I actually think Antoinette and Oma did listen to one of them.
Oh, that's nice of them.
So I'm still very confused as to how Santa is cool with half man, half goat beating and eating children,
Different times, I guess.
and if the evil Krampus isn't bad enough. Some believe that isn't just one Krampus. A blog from the Library of Congress states, in many contexts, Krampus is not an individual monster, but a type of monster like a werewolf or a vampire. That you could have many Krampuses together in one place.
Yeah, I think that's how it was in Grimm, is there were these people, they call them Wesson, that they don't even know that, like, they're normal people, and then, like, for, like, a week out of the year, they turn into these, like, Krampus monsters, basically.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
I love the idea that there are multiple Krampuses and like one Saint Nick, one Santa.
Of course, yeah, well, I think that plays into a lot of other things where there's just one of something, and if you don't believe in that one thing, then you're wrong, right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty common theme.
Well, that and it kind of touches on good is stronger than evil. We only need one Santa, but we need multiple Krampuses and Belsnickels. And
Right. Yeah.
so the story of Krampus spread due to Krampus cards in the late 19th century. These were similar to like goofy postcards or greeting cards. Uh,
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
yeah, and they depict Krampus like stealing children, trying to flirt with women, or even Krampus as a woman trying to flirt with men. And because of these, they spread very quickly. Nowadays, seem to become more of like a silly holiday character rather than a demon that frightens children into behaving. There is even a Krampus version of like a turkey trot called an uh, Krampus. Oh, okay. Krampufel? Wow, the German in me just KrampusLauf. So for those who like speak German, there you go.
But it takes place in Germany?
Actually, I believe it takes place mostly in the United States.
Oh, cool. I have to look that up. That sounds kind of fun.
Or I think in Austria too.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's the one thing that I think is in Austria and Germany. I don't know if it's like a turkey trot though, where people all come dressed as Krampus, and it seems more almost like a parade, but
Yeah, I've seen
um
that.
yeah, it'd be really fun to go one year.
I actually think there's one in Pennsylvania, which makes sense because
Yeah.
Pennsylvania has a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch, like a lot of people are
Yes.
descendants of Dutch people, yeah.
And to be fair, according to the History Channel, it's less of a run and more of a festive way for people to get drunk and bully children, which, you know what, is honestly a vibe.
That does sound kind of fun. Okay.
As I said, Krampus is by far the most famous companion to Santa. Even having his own movies, his own merchandise, he definitely helps make sure we don't let the kids get too excited during the holiday season.
Yeah, you gotta have that mix of discipline with your holiday joy, I guess.
Don't be too happy. That's gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
But finally, I would like to talk about one of my favorite Santa adjacent entities. Before we started recording, Natasha and I were actually talking about how she has heard about the creature or the witch La Befana. La Befana, also known as the Christmas witch, is probably the most wholesome of these three. The legend of La Befana is a Catholic tradition and is largely celebrated in Italy. Yes, we're all shocked Catholicism and Italy are put together.
Yeah. What a novel idea.
So the 6th of January is known as the Feast of the Epiphany. And the Feast of the Epiphany is when the three wise men arrive with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So it's very interesting that we have the 24th and the 25th, yet I don't think a single one of these entities are arriving on the 24th or 25th.
Yeah, I just remembered that I think we celebrated something like this when we went to Catholic school. I remember we would get like gold, like those gold chocolate coins or something like that.
So for once, Catholic school is something I just have mentally blacked out. So for once, you're remembering something I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of good things from Catholic school, but I do remember something about maybe a shoe. Maybe this is a
Oh,
different
that was
holiday.
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, yeah, I remember putting our shoes out like in the hallway, but I think we celebrated this in Catholic school too.
Probably. I'm sure they had like a mass. I don't remember if we went to mass every day.
I think we did go to mass. Maybe not every day, but I think like a couple times a week.
We should. I don't know if Dad would remember, but
It's a long time ago. It was like
yeah.
over 25 years ago.
We also didn't have like a playground. They just would block off the parking lot and have us run around.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting place.
Mm, But the 6th is also when La Befana arrives. So the story goes that the three wise men, on their way to get to baby Jesus, stopped at La Befana's house. And some stories say that they were looking for shelter and a meal or looking for directions. But regardless of what it was, she was helpful enough that they actually invited her to go with them to meet baby Jesus.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the story at all.
Basically, they were like, well, you want to go say like happy birthday to the Son of God? And being the just chef's kiss of a woman she was, La Befana declines their invitation, stating that she was too busy with chores.
Wow.
Iconic, legendary.
That's such a Italian woman thing to say. Like, I can't.
It just makes me think of Nana immediately.
Yeah, I got too many chores to do.
Later in the night, she changes her mind and sets out on her way to find the three wise men and baby Jesus. Unfortunately for her, she waited too long to start her journey, and she isn't able to find the men or the child. One version of this legend says that when she set out with her broom and baked goods with the intent to find Mary, Joseph, and Jesus and help Mary, who had just given birth. She believed that a helping hand to a new mother and father would be more helpful than the gifts of the wise men.
Wow, what a thoughtful person who actually understands
Yeah, that's what I thought.
childbirth. Yeah.
When our friends had a baby, I we went to visit them obviously. And I remember I got there, I looked at the husband and I was like, "All right, where's your broom and what do you want me to clean?"
Yeah, I get the impression that people don't just want you to hold their child, they want you to actually they actually need help with like tasks, you know?
Yeah, like they're exhausted, help them cook, help them clean.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, La Befana is truly a girl's girl. And in her rush to help the new parents, the broom she brought to help them clean actually took flight, hence the Christmas witch.
Oh, I wonder if this is where like flying witches came from.
I actually wondered the same thing. Also, on a slight tangent, my goddaughter asked for a Halloween themed birthday party, and I took total blame for that. And I was like, Lance, I'm going to get her a first broom for her birthday.
Oh my God. Well, you already have like so many decorations. I'm sure they didn't have to buy too many.
That was actually the exact conversation we had. They were
Oh my
telling
God.
us that that was what she wanted. I said, okay, well, don't buy anything. Like, how many
Yeah.
5-foot skeletons do you want? She, they were very grateful, but it was super funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. Cassandra's house is basically a mix of Spirit Halloween and creepy antique dolls. So,
That's accurate. Actually, one of my the same dolls like fell off the shelf the other day for no reason, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with you.
yeah, you're gonna need to take that to like Zach Bagans Museum or the Warrens Museum or something. I don't think that should be in your home.
I at least need to put some salt out.
Something.
Well, if it was gonna kill me, would have done it by now.
I mean, you're very unhealthy right now. Maybe it is killing you.
Actually, Dad said the same thing.
Yeah.
On that note, while
Anyway.
she didn't find baby Jesus, she did sort of become like a demigod in her own right. Similar to Santa, she's known for entering the homes of sleeping children through the chimney and leaving gifts and stockings for the well behaved kids. She also leaves quote unquote coal for the children who are badly behaved. But unlike Santa, her gifts are largely sweets and treats, which, if you've ever had the privilege of having an Italian grandmother, you know that that is like the main way they show love is through food.
Yes. Yeah, our grandma always had, she wasn't much of a baker, but she always had these Wegmans chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, so
Like
good.
always, she always had them, always. And they were like really soft and yeah, she would be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make a lot of food, when you get," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm just coming to see you. Like you don't have to make anything." And then she would have like a salad and cutlets and like I'm like, "I thought you weren't gonna make anything."
We will never know how she made that salad dressing, but it was the best thing.
So good. Yeah, I know. I've tried it so many times. It just never tastes the same.
And I sort of cracked the code to her vinegar chicken. I had like 3 notepads with like, I would ask her, well, how much are you putting in? She was like, I don't know, enough.
Yeah, she wasn't measuring. I wonder if other Italian families eat vinegar chicken. I've never heard anyone else say that they knew what that was.
A kid, Josh from high school, who like was sort of related to us, Italian related, so like sixth cousin, 15 times removed, but he's had it before. But I wonder if that's from Nana.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, he's closer related to us than that. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if anyone happens to be listening that's Italian. I guess it's probably a Southern Italian thing.
Hmm,
Let us know if
maybe.
you've had vinegar chicken before.
It's so good. On the tangent of Italian food, even the coal that she brought wasn't really coal. It was candy.
Oh, that's where the coal-shaped candy comes from.
Yeah. So even when you're bad, you still get a treat.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things that I found out about La Befana is rather than leaving out milk and cookies for her, it is common to leave out wine and a type of girl dinner or a plate of snacks.
Oh, that's awesome.
I I love it. She's truly an icon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I want to bring in some of these traditions. Like, that sounds really fun.
So, whichever entity you prefer to use to intimidate the children in your life, we hope you're having a good holiday season and we hope you stay strange.